this must have been just devastating news for you.
It is, but it's also very predictable. If anything, this was even more predictable than his arrest in 2017. This is about the regime is trying to secure another 5 years of a one-party rule without credible or effective opposition.
So do you believe that once they do that, he may have some chance of not serving that 27-year term?
I am not focusing on that. We are not focusing on that. We are focusing on him being able to join this election. Because what this is about Cambodia, it's not about him as an individual. So what we would like to see is for him to be able to join the election that's coming up in July of this year in a fair and credible enough environment. That is what we are pushing for.
Yeah. So, but the chances of that are very slim, you would imagine.
It is slim, but it is still possible. It's still early March, and that all depends also on what the international actors are going to do. And I'm glad to be able to have this opportunity to appeal to Australia. I hope that after almost 6 years, Australia would finally do something beyond just dialogue and statements. I specifically would like to see that Australia would use the global Magnitsky to impose individual sanction on the responsible Cambodian officials.
Yes, so you're talking about Cambodian officials, their assets in other countries. This has been a way of sometimes targeting and bringing about change, but how many countries have gone down this path?
Actually, the US has, following the 2017 crisis. But I actually think that it would be even far more effective for Australia. I might have mentioned this when I was on your show last time, that Australia is actually the hub, the biggest hub, the base for the Cambodian ruling official abroad outside of Cambodia. So if Australia is willing to impose the sanction, I believe that it would have far more impact than even the ones that the US already placed.
Yes, because of the people living here already in Australia.
Yeah.
You know, one of the issues, of course, is that there are so many global challenges right now, and Australia's focus is on the Pacific and many other regions. Do you think that is disappointing given the prescient problems that Cambodia is facing?
I have been disappointed in how Australia responds. I think after almost 6 years, you need to do more than just statements, and the focus in the region should be on Cambodia, as we know that by allowing Cambodia to have flourishing democracy, that's the only way to counter malign influence in the region, which Cambodia plays a big role, as you know, in enabling that. And I think the question is not whether or not Australia or the West want to do something in Cambodia in relation to the region itself. I think the question is about what is the effective approach. And I think the only effective approach, which is the principal approach, is to make sure that Cambodia has a multi-party system by playing by China's rules, trying to be more like China. I don't think that the West can ever win in that game by playing their rules, by engaging with an authoritarian regime on their terms. And you have tried that. The West has tried that for almost 30 years. And you are here now, we are here now, where Cambodia has gone into the China's orbit. So I think it's time to reevaluate that tried and failed policy from the West.
Yeah. With your father's sentencing, is there any credible opposition figure going into these elections?
No. All the leadership from the main opposition party that was banned, that was dissolved in 2017, are either in prison or in exile. And it's not just about a politician from the opposition. You're talking about human rights activists, environmental activists, journalists. They have all been cracked down on. And just a few weeks ago, the last independent radio was also shut down.
That's right. Mm.
So there is absolutely no way that the election in July, as things stand, would be in any way credible it would be exactly like the one we had in 2018.
So, the chances, you remain hopeful. We understand your father is going to appeal this sentence.
Actually, I cannot confirm that yet.
All right, so there's been no decision yet on that fact.
There's no decision yet on that. And I wouldn't pay too much attention on the legality because, as we know, the court is just a weapon that's directly controlled and used by the ruling party. So any solution to his case, it would be a political solution.
Yes.
And the ruling party is able to come up with creative ways to resolve this. So I would focus on political solution. I still focus on dialogue. Dialogue is important. We are always open to dialogues among Cambodians. And of course, we like that the West also engaged with the regime on dialogue. But with that, you need to have a plan of action. And it's been 6 years. You can't keep saying the same thing, then it becomes just empty lip service.